Story 1. My husband cheated. Here is how I found out. I am bored at work. Looking for stuff to do. Nothing. Here is a longer read. I felt like a modern-day Nancy Drew. I haven't been able to get this off of my chest, until now. Backstory, I met him when I was 17 years old. He was 21. At the time, he was stationed on Kaneohe Marine Corps Base in Hawaii. I was living in Mililani, Mauka. I was head over heels in love with him. He had a very muscular build, sezzy tattoos, a gorgeous smile, and was so adorable and romantic. After dating for a while, he decided that he was going to be getting out of the military and move back home to Ohio. I was so in love with him, I followed. I was 20 at the time and he was 24. We figured that we would start our lives together. We had a very intimate wedding with just the two of us and we were so in love. The economy was so terrible in Ohio and he missed the military. He loved getting deployed and playing war, so he decided to join again. The Marine Corps would not accept him back and so he had to go into the Army. For those who don't know, there is a huge rivalry about USMC versus US Army. We were supposed to be stationed in Hawaii. I was so excited to move back home and be with family. When he was coming home from Army training, he broke the news. We were going to be headed to Fort Bragg, NC. I was crushed. I noticed when he got back from training he was completely different. Leading up to the catch, we moved to NC and things seemed to still be a little different, but I figured he was going through stressful things and he can get quiet when he is stressed. It was a new military for him, different job, new people, new apartment, new everything. After a year of being there, our says life turned to nothing besides him laying there and me performing oral says on him for what seemed like forever. He stopped going to the gym and got fat. He stopped everything. I felt so unwanted. He never ever wanted to be around me and I wasn't sure why. I always made sure I was the perfect wife. I came home from work one Thursday and he told me that he was going to have a guys' night with some of the guys he made friends with at work, but they all wanted me to be their DD. I drove him and his 3 friends to downtown where all the bars are. He kissed me goodbye and told me he would call me at midnight. I still had work in the morning, so I told him that I would send a reminder if I hadn't heard from them by then. At 2:15 a.m. I get a text to come pick them up. I am a little irritated but didn't want to nag. I get there and one of the friends are nowhere to be found. I forgot my phone at home, so I ask my husband to use his phone. He is extremely drunk at this point, and he yelled, "No, get your own effing phone." He had never talked to me that way and I was so upset. I try not to be hurt because he is intoxicated. I always was able to use his phone and there has never been an issue. We all leave his friend behind because it was about 3:30 a.m. and just wandered off and I was extremely irritated by that point. That next day at work, I text him. We usually text each other throughout the day. Nothing. Not one text back. I go home after work thinking maybe he was sleeping since he had a 3-day weekend. When I get home, I go find him. He is upstairs in his man cave. He is texting on his phone and watching TV. I asked him if everything is okay and he didn't even acknowledge me. He is texting back and forth. He tells me that he is going out with the guys again tonight and goes and gets ready. He sets his phone down and goes to the bathroom to shower. Once I know he is in and I won't get caught, I sneak over to his phone. It is locked. The damn phone has a passcode. He never has a passcode. He gets out of the shower, grabs his phone, and leaves. No goodbye, nothing. That's when I know something is going on. It's Friday night, I have nothing to do. I am eating takeout with Supernatural in the background and I am on Facebook. I see his friends keep posting pictures of where my husband is supposed to be. He isn't in one picture. Guys we are friends with from a popular car club come over and just hang out. We will call them Brian, Charles, and Bruce. They leave around 1 a.m. When he gets home, around 4 a.m., he doesn't come into the bedroom. He goes for a shower. He never does that. He is completely sober as well. The next morning I asked him how his night was. He told me that he was with a huge group of people that included Brian, Charles, and Bruce. Strange. The day I caught him, a week later, his best friend was having a birthday party. This best friend and I could not stand each other. He would always make fun of me and my weight. I am a little fluffy 5 feet tall and 135 pounds, so I didn't like him. He gets ready. He asks me to pick out a nice outfit. He is always in gym pants and tank tops, but it was his friend's 21st birthday and it was going to be this huge thing. He always liked hanging out with younger people. At this time he was 26. I picked out a nice polo and a nice pair of jeans. He even put cologne on. He never wears it. He leaves and tells me goodbye. No kiss. No I love you. Nothing. I was livid. I wonder and let my lonely thoughts get the best of me. I go onto the computer and on Facebook. I notice he has added a girl named Jill. He added girls and guys all the time, but we always had a whole bunch of mutual friends because of the car club we belonged to. I clicked on her name. No mutual friends. Her profile is blocked. She is very overweight, 18, and has her phone number in her About Me section. I remember the last numbers were 0666. I thought to myself, what a devil number. I move on and not worry because I thought I look better than her, so whatever. A few hours later a friend calls me hysterical. Brian just got in a really bad car accident. We don't think he is going to make it. I tried calling your husband but no answer. We all have been. Brian and my husband were extremely close. I call my husband. No answer. I call 5 more times. No answer. I call the wife of his best friend since he went to his best friend's party. His best friend answers and told me he never showed. That's when I realized where he was. I log onto our T-Mobile website and look at who he has been texting so much since there was no way to reach him. He had over 1,500 messages between this person in a week's time. The last numbers? 0666. I called that number. A girl answered. I asked to speak to Rob. She asks who is this? I said my name is Kat and she says Kat. I hear in the background, oh duck. She puts him on. I say in a calm voice, I know what you're doing but I am not calling about that. Brian is in the emergency room. He got in a bad wreck. He is at so-and-so hospital. He thanks me for telling him. He comes home the next day at 10 a.m. The friend is okay and resting. He walks in the door and I am cleaning. He asks me, are you mad? I said, no, I am not mad. I am heartbroken. Then I ask why. He told me he didn't know. He didn't love me anymore. He cried, he never cries, and hugged me. I pushed him away. I packed all of my things, got my animals, and left. Later I found out that everyone knew but me. He still writes me from time to time telling me he misses me. All of his friends hate me. I am a huge joke to them. Never understood why. 6 months later I am now divorced and my life has dramatically changed for the best. I look out for myself and put myself as a priority. I haven't been able to explain my side of the story and it feels so good to finally get it out and over with. Edit. Thank you all so much. I greatly appreciate it. It feels amazing to be away from that mess and get that entire situation off of my chest. Thank you to all those who were so supportive and nice. Means a lot. The positive comments are extremely uplifting. Thank you to all the negative comments as well. I appreciate your onion. Cheating is never ever okay. That is why I got out as soon as I found out. Story 2. My husband is cheating on me with my best friend. I'm honestly not sure where to start, so I guess I'll just start. My husband and I have been dating since I was 19 and he was 22. We've been married for 6 years now. We have 2 kids and I'm 6 months pregnant with our third. 2 years ago I found out my dad has stage 3 colon cancer. My dad is my only parent as my mom passed away when I was 12. He's my favorite human and life without him doesn't seem as colorful. His laugh is contagious and he gives these big bear hugs that seem to make all of your broken pieces feel like they're perfectly in place again. Whenever I've had a hard day he doesn't poke and prod and just lets me vent and listens. About 5 months ago we discovered the treatments aren't working for him and in direct quote of the doctor he said months not years. Since then he's gotten progressively worse and now is losing memory. He looked at the dog he got for me on my 21st birthday and said, "Wow, that's a nice dog, where'd you get it?" My husband has been my absolute rock. He has been there for me, holding my hand and helping me through this. He's been so loving and attentive to both my kids, and don't get me wrong, I am a mother first always. I don't allow myself to wallow. My kids are still loved, cared for, played with, and I haven't let my load slack around the house. Once my dad got his updated prognosis, my husband encouraged me to quit my job. About a month later we discovered we were pregnant again and I still hadn't let go of my job. I kept holding out for some reason. After finding out I was pregnant again he assured me it was still okay to quit my job, that honestly it would save us a small fortune on daycare costs anyways. So I did, I quit my job. My best friend and I have been friends since diapers. Her family is like my family and vice versa. My mom and her mom grew up together. We've always been solid and right. After my dad's appointment, when we found out he had so little time left, I drove straight to her house and she held me while I cried for hours. If there are soulmates in friend form, she was mine. Thick as thieves is what my mom used to say. This morning as I was up with my 3-year-old, he's sick, my husband's work alarm was going off. He has a few he sets, so I turned that one off and gently woke him up. He said he was up late working, so he took the morning off. Rolled over and went back to sleep. As I went to turn off the remainder of his alarms, I saw a text from my friend on his lock screen that said, "I'm assuming since there hasn't been an angry pregnant lady on my doorstep you haven't told her about us yet." Time froze in that moment. I took his phone and walked away and just read their conversations. 4 months this man has been ducking my best friend. 4 months these people have been lying to my face. And I know what you're going to say, you should have seen the warning signs. But I've been clutching this phone in my hand for 2 hours and nothing. He has been so loving and attentive to me, but he always has been. So kind and gentle. There has been no late night work nights except for once in a blue moon. There has been no lingering touches between them or even glances. They act as they have since the day I first introduced them. How sick is it that she calls him her brother but she screws him? I know so many people get a moment of clarity in situations like this, but I have none. Aside from being sad about my dad, I haven't changed. I'm still a loving wife and mother. I still doted on him and my children. I talk to him about how he is doing and how was his day every freaking day. I haven't allowed the ground to swallow me whole. I know what I have to do now, but I just don't want to. I'm about to lose my family and my support system in one blow. I'll confront him tomorrow. Today I just need this last 24 hours of peace. As for her, I won't give her the satisfaction of a response. I don't care why she did it. She did it and it's done. I was always the friend who cleaned up her messes. After today I will cut her out of my life like she never mattered at all. This has to be the hardest storm I'll ever weather, but damn it, I know it'll sail through it. If not for me, for my children.